We got such a clamor for this movie. Literally, I have not received this many comments on anything ever in the 5-year history of our YouTube channel. So, of course, we had to go see Godzilla Minus One. Alonso, will you please tell us about this movie?
あれはゴジラ
So the title, I guess, references the fact that this is technically set before the original Gojira. It is during and in the days, in the, brief time after World War II. And our hero is a kamikaze pilot who has second thoughts about, doing what kamikaze pilots are supposed to do. He lands on an island where his plane gets looked at. And while he's there, they are attacked by what the locals call Gojira. And the guy tries to, is told to get into his plane and shoot it with the guns. But he freezes. And so pretty much everybody else there dies. And so he is haunted by his guilt of inaction, of not fighting back against Gojira. The war ends, the A-bomb drops, and that radiation makes Gojira bigger and badder. And so when he comes back, our hero feels all the more compelled to be part of the forces that repel him, try to destroy him. This is an extraordinary film. I have never in my life, I think, seen a Godzilla movie that A, made me cry at the end, and B, scared me. Like, Godzilla is supposed to be, originally it's a monster, it's a horror movie, but by the time I started watching these movies as a child in the 70s, like, in the same way that Freddy Krueger went from being like terrifying serial killer to quip machine, Godzilla somewhere along the way became like friend to children and defender of the earth. I know Gamera is friend to children, don't at me. But he's fighting the smog monster, he's fighting aliens, he's a chill bro. We love Godzilla. It's cute when he steps on things. This is a fucking terrifying Godzilla who is going to destroy everything and everyone in his path, and it's intense. This is directed by Takashi Yamazaki. I am not familiar with his previous films, although I know a lot of people are and are big fans of his work. And so, Godzilla has been around this is a 70th anniversary sort of tribute to the character. So I'm not going to say we've never seen a Godzilla movie like this before, because we've seen all kinds of Godzilla movies over the years, except maybe a musical. I'm waiting for that one. But this movie has such intense stakes and riveting characters and personal sacrifice, and I just got really swept up in it, and it is moving, and it is occasionally funny, and it is terrifying, and really I think brings Godzilla back to its roots as the sort of metaphor of nuclear destruction and of the horrible consequences of war. This is one of the best films of the year.
It's pretty amazing. Like, I am with you on all of this, and I was so astonished at how it's so well made for such a low budget. The budget is reportedly $15 million.
Yeah.
And so Takashi Yamazaki in the credits is listed as writer, director, and also the visual effects person.
Yeah.
So he accomplished a whole lot. Like, it is tactile and textural and doesn't look cheesy in the slightest. And when you think about movies that are big CGI spectacles that have like multiple hundreds of millions of dollars budgets, like, I'm not going to name names, but they look like crap. And this looks amazing. Like, the way they've integrated the monster into, the stuff in the water and in the bay, the stuff when he's stomping across various cities, it looks so real and so seamless. And as you say, it's horrifying. I found myself for a while cheering when Godzilla showed up. Like, he emerged from the water with his little derpy smile. Like, yeah,
he
here
does
he
have that
comes.
adorable dog face.
But the way that they incorporate all the different things that he can do is eventually so terrifying. I feel like this movie owes a bit of a debt to Jaws, in the way that a lot of it is in this boat, and you see him early on. They don't wait an hour into it to show you Godzilla, but the way that they are waiting in the water in a little bitty boat, and they're all just funny characters, quirky characters in different ways, and like just the tension that builds feels like it owes a debt to Spielberg in a lot of ways.
I definitely was thinking about Jaws during those sequences. And again, like Jaws never got cute. Like Jaws was the idea. The movies got worse, but the idea was that Jaws was always going to be scary, and Godzilla gets his scary back here.
For sure. There is a scene in here that reminded me a great deal of one of the key set pieces in the most recent Mission Impossible movie.
The subway train?
There's a thing involving a train car.
Yeah.
Right. There's a train car and the young woman, and like it's done as well as Mission Impossible. I was really impressed by that. That was really great. You mentioned also how emotional it is. Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into who these characters are and how they're all related, but the sense of like the makeshift family that forms after the war, and just the sacrifices, as you said, that they make for each other, and the tenderness there, and the desire, the longing to really form a strong bond, but also the apprehension and the fear and the trauma of war and the fear of future loss, and it's all tied in there together, and you really definitely feel for all these characters and the choices that they make, and that adds a surprising amount of like emotional heft to what could have just been like a thrilling but a purely, exciting escapist action film.
Sure. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, if I'm going to split hairs about the CG, there are a couple of sequences where the warships are in the ocean and the waves are rippling around them that I was like, maybe a little fakey looking, but where it counts with the actual, title star of the film, seamlessly incorporated and genuinely, like, I mean, I don't think it would be as terrifying if you didn't believe that those people and that creature were sharing a space, but they absolutely do seem like right up next to each other. And that, I think, as you say, there's that tactile quality that really makes it work. I'd heard the hype and I was like trying to sort of temper my expectations, but this is really extraordinary. This is one of, like I said, I think, a movie that I think is really going to stay with me, that I want to see again already. And I think if you have an idea in your mind of what a Godzilla movie is, especially based on not the greatest string of American versions recently, like this is something else entirely. Like I liked Godzilla King of the Monsters more than most people, the Michael Dougherty one from a few years ago, but this is a whole new level.
And the plan they come up with to take him out is really clever and makes actual sense. But what would have been really, really helpful if they'd had lightsabers in 1940s Japan. Maybe they could have like swung by and slashed it in with that. They didn't, but you can with our friends. Right. You can with our friends at N Sabers. They make these really sturdy, well-made NeoPixel lightsabers. They have a wide variety of styles and levels of expertise, whether you are a beginner or a kid, or you're a serious cosplayer and you really know what you're doing. You feel like you're ready to take on Godzilla with your lightsaber. You can get them customized to any character that you like, and they light up and they make noise and different colors and sounds, and but beyond just the womb sound, there are many other sounds. We have a great deal with them, and they have some great holiday deals going on. We have a link to them down below. Our code is breakfast all day. Check them out. N Sabers. Yes, I am thrilled that we saw this. I'm so thankful to all of you for encouraging us to go and see it and talk about it, because I sort of felt like it flew under the radar a bit. Like I don't recall even getting anything about press screenings or any kind of publicity for it. So it just sort of it's here. Godzilla's here.
And it's clearly the word of mouth, I think, is paying off, because you're right. There wasn't a giant promotion for this film, but it was the #1 at the US box office on like Monday and Wednesday this week. So clearly, like, we're not the only ones being told, hey, you got to see this movie. So, folks are discovering it, which is very exciting.
What's your number?
I say a 9.3. This is
okay.
I'm working on my top 10 list right now, and this is in the mix.
I'm gonna say a 9. I really dug it. I had so much fun, and I want to go see it again with my husband and my son, because Chris grew up loving Godzilla movies too. I thought about him the whole time. I'm like, oh, you're gonna dig this. It's good. So definitely, it's worth seeing over and over again. And Godzilla Minus One is in theaters everywhere.
And I saw it in IMAX. Would recommend.
Ooh, cool. Yes, I have to go back and do it in IMAX. All right, guys, let us know what you think of it, and thanks for the recommendation.